Good evening and welcome to Doordarshan Kendra, Kohima. I am Kevinona Prautsu with the news. First, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Basta Pandam Festival in Chhattisgarh showcased rich culture, traditions and tribal heritage. Union Home Minister Amit Shah delivers keynote address at the National Conference on tackling cyber-enabled frauds and dismantling the ecosystem in New Delhi today. Union Parliamentary Minister Kiran Rijiju accuses opposition MPs of disrupting the proceedings of Lok Sabha. Niti Aayog releases 4 study reports on scenarios towards Viksit Bharat and Net Zero. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the Basta Pandam Festival in Chhattisgarh showcased the rich culture, traditions and tribal heritage of Basta in a magnificent way. In a social media post, PM Modi said that earlier, whenever the name of Basta was mentioned, images of Maoism, violence and backwardness in development would come to mind. He added that the situation has changed and now the town is known for its development and the growing self-confidence of its local people. The Basta Pandam Festival was held in Chhattisgarh from 7th to 9th of this month. PM Modi said that such events play a vital role in preserving India's cultural heritage and empowering local communities. He also congratulated all the people associated with the festival. Union Home Minister Amit Shah today delivered the keynote address at the National Conference on tackling cyber-enabled frauds and dismantling the ecosystem in New Delhi. On this occasion, he also inaugurated the new cybercrime branch of the Central Bureau of Investigation. He also launched the State Cybercrime Coordination Center dashboard of the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center 14C under the Ministry of Home Affairs. The CBI is organizing the 2-day conference in collaboration with the 14C. The Ministry of Home Affairs said the primary objective of the conference is to build a shared understanding of the scale, trends and evolving nature of cyber-enabled frauds in India. During the 2 meetings, the conference will witness participation from senior officials and experts representing central and state law enforcement agencies, the Department of Telecommunications, the Department of Financial Services and the Reserve Bank of India.
सबसे पहले तो मैं सीबीआई और I4C दोनों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि एक ऐसा काम है जिसमें सरकार की कई एजेंसियां एक साथ मिलकर काम करती हैं। गृह मंत्रालय स्वतंत्र रूप से I4C, राज्य की पुलिस, सीबीआई, एनआईए, ईडी, दूरसंचार विभाग, बैंकिंग सचिवालय, आईटी मिनिस्ट्री, आरबीआई और न्यायपालिका।
Union Parliamentary Minister Kiran Rijiju has accused the opposition MPs of disrupting the proceedings of Lok Sabha, saying that their conduct reflects that they don't have any respect for the dignity of the House. Talking to the media, Rijiju said that Congress women MPs had crossed over the Treasury bench, even reached near the Prime Minister's seat in the House last week, which is a shameful act. He said the BJP MPs, especially the women MPs, have lodged a strong complaint to the Lok Sabha Speaker against the behavior of the Congress MPs. The minister accused that they are celebrating on their social media accounts and claiming that women MPs scared the Prime Minister. He said this is a shameful act by the Congress members, which is against parliamentary democracy. The opposition has given notice of a no-confidence motion against the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. Lok Sabha sources said opposition has submitted the notice to the Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. Sources added that the notice will be examined and processed as per rules. Let us now take a short break.
रुक जाओ! ये क्या है? असली नोट?
ब्रो, ये फटा है।
सुन, कते फते या पुराने नोट को
बैंक ब्रांच में एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं।
वाओ, नया नोट मिलेगा? हाँ, जिससे तू हमें पिज्जा पार्टी देगा।
आरबीआई कहता है स्मार्ट बनो, कूल रहो।
Welcome back. BJP today accused the opposition for deliberately trying to create an atmosphere of instability across the country. Addressing a press conference in New Delhi, BJP national spokesperson Sambit Patra said, ever since the NDA government came to power for the third term, the Congress and its allies have been continuously attacking the country's constitutional institutions, including the Supreme Court, the Election Commission, the Lok Sabha Speaker and the Prime Minister. Patra accused Congress and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee of creating a narrative against the Special Intensive Revision SIR. Referring to the Supreme Court's decision about SIR, Patra said it's a big jolt to the Mamata Banerjee-led TMC government in West Bengal. The US-India Space Business Forum, a two-day conference aimed at strengthening space cooperation between India and the United States, began today, bringing together senior government officials, space agencies and industry leaders from both countries. The forum is focused on enhancing policy coordination, aligning regulatory frameworks and unlocking commercial opportunities while advancing collaboration under the US-India Civil Space Joint Working Group. Discussions emphasized moving beyond traditional cooperation towards co-creation in the space sector. Addressing the gathering, Kerry Arun, U.S. Consul General, noted the participation of 14 American space companies along with officials from the U.S. Department of Commerce. He praised India's achievements in space science and innovation.
Strong support for the global space ecosystem and reiterated the U.S. commitment to further deepen cooperation with India in its space ambitions.
Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, visionary leadership. We are working in a vibrant mode in the space sector. And 2020, the space sector reform was announced by Government of India. Thereby, a lot of private sector are working, startup companies are working in this area. Earlier, before 2020, hardly three companies were there. Today, 330 startup systems are working, and almost 450 industries are working in the space area. And the Indo-US collaboration in the space sector is a very long history.
I want to express NASA's strong support for the forum and for the work of the trade mission. NASA's cooperation with ISRO has grown significantly over the past several years. I'm grateful that those of you attending this forum will see firsthand what NASA has experienced in working side by side with India's exceptional engineers and scientists.
Niti Aayog today released 4 study reports on scenarios towards Viksit Bharat and net zero in New Delhi, focusing on sectoral insights in power, transport, industry and critical mineral assessment on demand and supply. During the launch ceremony, Chief Executive Officer of Niti Aayog, BVR Subramaniam, emphasized the need for a coordinated and long-term strategy to achieve India's net zero goals. He said that evidence-based policy making and sector-specific planning are essential to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability. Subramaniam also stated that fossil fuels will continue to remain a significant part of nearly 1/4 of industry consumption even in 2070, and this will be managed through carbon capture and other technologies. Speaking on the occasion, Secretary, Ministry of Power, Pankaj Agarwal said the power sector will play a central role in India's energy transition. He stressed the need for reliable, affordable and clean electricity through grid strengthening and integrated planning. He also highlighted the importance of strengthening domestic supply chains, encouraging innovation and enhancing inter-ministerial coordination to support India's clean energy transition and development agenda.
Where half the workforce is actually dependent on agriculture and related activities. What is the impact of transition on these people? At 50%. And agriculture is a significant contributor, not just in Indian context, but global context to emissions. So how do we handle that? I mean, it's almost like something people just want to avoid even talking about it in this context. They think, oh, there will be something happening there if it raise that issue. But if you don't raise that issue, you never solve the problem. And then it'll hit you worse. The other two issues are also buildings where we live and work, and about waste is what we generate. All of them are closely linked to the net zero goals which you have laid out. Now, what is, let's go into each aspect quickly before the presenter gives you a more detailed thing. Let's talk about buildings.
The Office of the Commissioner of Police Dimapur has issued a notification directing all concerned individuals, institutions and establishments to strictly comply with the provisions of the Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025 and the Immigration and Foreigners Rules 2025, mandating the reporting of arrival, stay and departure of foreigners within Dimapur, Chumikidima and Newland districts. The notification informed that the Government of India has enacted a new consolidated legislation, the Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025, which came into force on September 1, 2025. With the enforcement of this act, earlier legislation such as the Passport Entry into India Act 1920, the Registration of Foreigners Act 1939, the Foreigners Act 1946 and the Immigration Carriers Liability Act 2000 have been repealed. The notification stressed that Form 3 is a crucial document required under the Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025 for ensuring compliance with immigration laws as well as safeguarding national security. All concerned have been urged to ensure accurate and timely reporting. It stated that failure to comply with the provisions of the Act and rules will attract penal action as provided under law. Campaigning for Bangladesh 13th Jatiya Sangsad election and the accompanying referendum ended at 7:30 this morning, ushering in the mandatory 48-hour silence period ahead of voting on Thursday. Polling will be held for the national parliamentary election and the referendum under the July National Charter. The final phase of election comes amid tightening restrictions, heightened security and fresh survey projections. A public opinion survey by Dhaka-based NGO Eminence Associates for Social Development (EASD) forecast a decisive lead for the BNP-led alliance, projecting around 208 seats. The Jamaat-e-Islami-led alliance is estimated to secure 46 seats, the Jatiya Party 3, other parties 4 and independents 17. Based on responses from 41,500 people, EASD says it is the largest survey conducted so far ahead of the polls. The Election Commission has imposed strict pre-poll measures, including an 82.5-hour ban on people staying outside their own electoral areas from 10 February, citing concerns over undue influence and law and order. Security has been significantly tightened nationwide, with the Bangladesh Army and other forces placed on special operational alert until 14 February. Around 9 lakh personnel will be deployed and 1,051 executive magistrates assigned to run mobile courts. And now let us look at the weather reports of the district headquarters of Nagaland.
Kohima today recorded a maximum temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 7 degrees Celsius, while Dimapur had a maximum temperature of 29 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. Wokha experienced a maximum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. Mokokchung had a maximum temperature of 23 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 8 degrees Celsius. Mon had a maximum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. Towards the east, Twinsang had a maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. Zinebuto had a maximum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. Peg had a maximum temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and a minimum temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. That's all for the weather report.
To end the news, here is a recap of the main points. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Bastar Pandam Festival in Chhattisgarh showcased rich culture, traditions and tribal heritage. Union Home Minister Amit Shah delivers keynote address at the National Conference on Tackling Cyber-Enabled Frauds and Dismantling the Ecosystem in New Delhi today. Union Parliamentary Minister Kiran Rijiju accuses opposition MPs of disrupting the proceedings of Lok Sabha. Niti Aayog releases 4 study reports on scenarios towards Viksit Bharat and Net Zero. With this, we have come to evening's bulletin. Good night.